Good evening, Westwood, and welcome to Flayhive Field on a beautiful Wednesday night. It is Wednesday, May 14th. Joined as always on camera, also on microphone, Evan Cardamino. I am Morgan Donnie, and we're delighted to bring TVL Large matchup tonight. Westwood taking on the visiting Dedham Marauders. I believe Dedham not having the stellar season that they've had in the past, so we might see a bunch of different players for the Wolverines tonight, is what I understand, but looking forward to it. You know, we're going to see some glimpses of the future, as well as, you know, some nice action from guys who have been doing it all year long this year and also for many, many years. And Evan, the other night, we had Jack Roycroft, 100th career goal. What a night to celebrate that accomplishment, but also to look back on a special player he is and getting a lot of goals for the Wolverines.
Yeah, you know, 100 goals is hard in any sport, no matter what sport you're playing. I mean, we've seen plenty of stellar athletes who have topped that as Westwood looks to win the draw control there, and Roycroft picks it up, actually.
Yeah,
so.
Speak of the devil, that was Roycroft on the draw control. Jack Fallon taking the draw there, senior face-off specialist. We see him come in every now and then. Him and Timmy Malloy sharing those duties. The Wolverines getting right back to work from where they picked off against Ashland the other day on a 14-2 win.
But I'm sure Roycroft looking to add to that total there, you know, see what you can get, see what you can set for yourself. You know, you're at 100, probably look at sub 100 as Westwood loses the ball there, and looks like Dedham's going to fight for it.
And that ball is up in the air. Ryan Williams battling for it. Nice clean pick there by Roycroft. And he sends it right down low, finds Martucci. Martucci down low to Stuhler for the goal. 1, 2, 3 on the goal. Started with the defensive turnover, a couple quick passes. Stuhler well positioned in front of the net for the finish to get the Wolverines on the board 1-0.
And what a spectacular sophomore campaign for Will Stuhler. We saw him last season scoring goals early, young, and you know, this season especially, we've seen him score from all over the field, and he's stepped up big for this Wolverines team.
Absolutely. He's been a terrific player for them down low and doing all things. He's been assisting on passes, you know, from behind the net and getting a bunch of goals himself. He's sure with the ball and his stick, too. Does a good job protecting it. Nice clean pickup there by Ryan Williams. He's getting the feet moving. Nice move there on the midfield. We got a whistle, and they're going to call that a warding. It's going to award the ball to Dedham. So Dedham's going to have the ball. Looks like Coach C's got some questions for the official.
And Dedham will maintain the possession here. Number 2, I don't know if you have a roster, Morgan. I looked ahead of time and could not find
anything. So Dedham is going to go by numerical names today. So we're going to go by the numbers. 17 up to number 10. Over to 15. You got Kyle Harvey closing in on him. That's a scary sight. And they're going to work it around. So it's a penalty on Westwood. And Dedham on the man up. Dedham looking to take advantage of it if they can get the answer to Westwood's goal. Harvey got a piece of that one, but picked up by Dedham on the bounce. And the penalty's up. Walsh walks into the play as Fredrickson walks into the field. Hancock out there, he's looking to get the ball on the ground. He's had a great couple games. We've seen a couple goals out of him the last 2, which is kind of a rare sight for a long stick midi unless your name is Donald Varnerin. But there's been funny ones. He had a 20-yard goal against Medway, and then he had a nice transition goal against Ashland. Sesselman went up and got a piece of that. Hancock dishes it to himself and picks it up cleanly. So a nice smart play there. Able to put that in a space will give yourself some room and time to operate. Harvey finds Sesselman moving across the field, and then Sesselman finds Walsh. We got some numbers. Walsh going lefty, shot, score! Walsh hits the logo in the net and gets the second goal for the Wolverines, and a nice goal there for the sophomore. We were just calling the girls lacrosse game, and his twin sister Jill Walsh was playing great on defense for the Wolverines. So it's a talented family when it comes to the game of lacrosse. Looks like we might have a new face-off guy here. We do. Number 2, Brendan Lopes, brother of Logan Lopes, called his name last year. So Brendan, number 2 for the Wolverines. He was able to advance that ball. Dedham ultimately able to pick it up. Hancock playing stick on stick. He gets the stick, able to knock the ball loose. Harvey picks it up. And we got a whistle. Hold on Westwood, going to stay with Dedham. Westwood up 2-0. Early on this game, 3 minutes in. Hancock looking to take away the angle. They force it out, has some help from Stuhler, but Dedham able to score there on a tough angle. That's a goal by number 8 on Dedham to cut into Westwood's lead 2-1. It's like a Barry Sanders celebrating. Not much celebration after that goal. You know, it's just goal, and they're ready for the face-off.
Well, Dedham looking to get some offensive pressure, and they've gotten some good pressure early on here and trying to cut that lead and get back to, a tie game here, letting Westwood get 2 quick goals early on, and, Dedham getting the goal by number 8 there.
Yep. Timmy Malloy coming out, take the draw for the Wolverines, and he's able to win it to himself. Nice clean win there by Timmy. Gonna set that Wolverine offense up. He's gonna hop off the field. Oncoming is Jack Roycroft. Good to see Timmy score some goals in recent weeks as well. Help out the effort. He's put a lot of great effort in on these face-offs. That's not fun to do. There's a lot of physicality, a lot of slash work. You're not afraid to go to the dirty areas to win some battles for the Wolverines. Pass inside, that's knocked loose. It was intended for Gasparo. Ball hits the turf, still free. Fredrickson comes away with it. Martucci, Roycroft to the net, and he scores. Jack Roycroft with the goal. Get Westwood's 3rd goal to take the lead 3-1. A nice move there. Roycroft saw some opening there, took advantage of that space, went right to the net. Nice low bounce shot. That's what I love about Roycroft when he shoots. He shoots off the ground. Very difficult for the goalie to save. And scores with consistency doing that. So Dedham with the draw control. 10 makes a move inside. Ryan Owens does a good job closing in on that. Ryan Owens has been getting better and better each game. Number 10 for the Wolverines sophomore. Evan, we called his first goal versus Norton. The pride of Colburn Street.
Westwood's got a lot of upcoming sophomores in Stuhler. I believe Sesselman, correct?
Sesselman's a
Hancock.
sophomore. Shot goes wide. Stuhler, Sesselman, Walsh. Greg Walsh is a sophomore.
So
Pass inside, shot just wide. Westwood chasing after that. Looks like it's salvaged, able to keep it in. Can he still battle for it? Tough, because he didn't have the inside position there, and Harvey picks it up. Kyle Harvey. He's going to send it over to Jaden Pollock. Salvage. Finds a streaking Sesselman. Sesselman's been that guy. He's a great guy to just work that ball inside the zone. He's going to take it to the net. Shot goes wide. Shot that on the offhand lefty. And that's picked up by Lachlan Hayes. Lachlan Hayes been doing the post-game interviews after the JV games. He's a natural for it, folks. We might have to get him to do a post-game interview for a game in the future. Shot, score. And that is a goal by Gio Sabatini. I believe his first goal. We'll see where the ball goes. Yes, that's the first goal for Sabatini. Congratulations. Finds a nice corner of the net, low left area of the net, and gets his first varsity goal. Well earned. One of my favorite things about calling games, Evan, is the first goals. I have a feeling we're going to call a few of them tonight. As we see a bunch of players that we haven't seen from time to time. That's a big win there by Brett Brema on the faceoff. Sophomore, he scored his first goal versus Norden. Inside look there. I was looking for Will Dempsey there. A pass by, looked like number 13, Caleb Fengler. And Bama's got it. Bama looking to create some space. Dishes it off to 14. Connor Blaney.
Here's a name we called a few times
We
during
certainly
the
have.
hockey
Yeah.
season.
He had a great sophomore campaign. Speaking of sophomores.
It's great to see Coach Zahurk, too, getting some of these guys, and young guys in some season action, getting the experience, getting the reps in. That's how you
move inside. That ball gets knocked loose. And ladies and gentlemen, we got Max Pollock in the building. The legendary Max Pollock. One of the best interviews of the year. Talking about the 100th goal from Roycroft. Also got Mother's Day mention in there as well. Love to see it. So Mac's going to help us with some of the. We're going to have two different smorgasbord of rosters today. I believe, a first goal by Gio Sabaghini. So shout outs to Gio on a nice goal there, and little brother Jaden Pollock able to come away with that. Has a clearing pass, finds Connor Blaney there. That ball gets loose. Blaney takes a hit. Ball right on the dot, right on the W of the field. It's going to be a Dedham ball. So I think we're going to get another mic set up for the big dog over here. We'll go three across the table.
Morgan, there is a bit of a challenge of trying to set up a microphone while trying to
while doing the camera at the same time. But if there's anyone in the continental U.S. that I trust with being able to do that, that is the big dog. So I'm going to pass my headset over to Max. And just there we go. And I got new headset on, and I think we are good.
I think so too.
Just moving it closer to the mouth. There we go. There
Sounds
we go.
good.
There we go.
There we go.
We are locked and loaded, folks. We got the trio here now. Max Pollock, Evan Cardamino, Morgan Donahue here. Westwood Media Center coverage of your Westwood Boys Lacrosse. Wolverines up 4-1 on the Dedham Marauders. Looking to add to that. We've seen some new faces in, and we got some more coming on the field right now. Ball in the stick of number 17. Looks like Emmanuel Gonzalez. That ball gets knocked loose, but good backup there by 19, Lachlan Hayes. Lachlan, also a football player. We learned that by mistaking him for John Bertone on the extra points during the football season. That ball gets knocked loose on the ground. Little battle there. Both teams jockeying for position. Squirts near side to the sideline, still in play. A little bit of a rugby scrum, then goes out of bounds. Whose ball? It's going to be Westwood ball.
Looks like it went off Westwood there, but
yeah, we'll take the ref's call. Number 19, Lachlan Hayes, working his way towards the X position. Sends it up top to Sebi O'Brien, who scored his first goal the other night in the Ashland game? No, it was the
Medway game, I believe,
game.
yeah.
Yes, the Medway game. Ball down low. That's knocked loose out of the stick of Will Dempsey. Sebi O'Brien battling for position. Still loose. And then picked up by Will Dempsey. Lachlan Hayes looking to make some moves. Creates some space, heading towards the net. Looks inside. Shot. That goes wide. That was a pass to Sebi O'Brien. And that's going to go to Dedham. So we saw this earlier in the girls' game. When that goes by like fast and you don't have people back, that goalie's typically like that player that is kind of in the position to get the possession.
Yeah, the goalie's always going to go for it on any shot that goes by the net.
Yeah.
Normally there's someone backing it up, but in that case, it looked like they had a pole back there.
Yeah.
but went to Dedham there. So
Yeah. So we see, I see Lopes out there throughout the game, Brennan Lopes, and I'd imagine he's Logan Lopes' brother.
yep,
And when I hear that name, can't help but think about that shot is blocked. Good job by the Wolverines and coming away with it. Number 10, looks like Zafiropoulos. Going to get across the 50. He does. He's got 3 guys on.
Dumps
Takes
it.
a big hit, but got the job done. In the stick of 13, Caleb Fengler, freshman hockey player that we calling all year. Now he's a lacrosse player. But when I think of Lopes, I think of the connection between Pollock and Lopes on senior night. I don't know if you were the goal scorer or the passer, but it was a beautiful connection behind the net, point-blank shot, back of the net.
yeah. Being a backup attackman with that line, we didn't really get in much. I mean, having Brennan Varnerin and Troy Fredrickson, and a mix of a bunch of other attackmen like Sam Cochran, currently still on the team. Jack Roycroft would sometimes go back there.
Yeah.
So on that line, I'd say Z would try to put us all in, I guess, at even times. But when Lopesy got in, we were all looking for it, and I just happened to find him cutting to the crease and buried it. Everyone was really happy. Great moment on senior night. Ended up winning that game. Slow start, but
It was, yeah. Senior to senior.
Yep, got to get that
Is
connection.
that Bellingham?
Yes, yeah.
Bellingham's gotten better and better each year. Got to give the coach and the program credit. And we just had a goal earlier. That was Gasparo with the goal. He scored a good amount of goals so far this year. So a nice senior campaign for Nick Gasparo. You call him Gizzy?
Yeah, sure do. He gave himself that nickname his freshman year on JV.
That's a power move when you give yourself the nickname. I'm going to be called Gizzy.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing there, but, something to remember him by.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty memorable. Still call him that to this day. So, flag on the play here.
Flag on the play. Looks like we're going to get some of the varsity guys coming out.
Looks like the man up.
Yep. Going to get some work on the man up. So I see I see Roycroft down low, Fredrickson down low, Stuhler, Martucci. I think Liam Williams up top, or down low, and Walshy out there. So this is important because we're a couple games away from the playoffs. You want to be sharp when it comes to the special teams.
Yeah, especially in games like this. It's even though it might not be as evenly matched, you just have to stay focused during these types of games.
Yeah.
Focus on the little things like this. I'm sure Z put the men up just to keep them fresh and get the ball
Shot.
moving.
Save. That was a point-blank shot by Martucci. Save off the goaltender. That's working its way outside, but well positioned there. Looked like Roycroft. Well, we were talking about how C.J. Hancock, 2 goals in the last 2 games. You don't see that too often from a long stick midi unless your name is Don Varnerin. But how about Don Varnerin on the power play? That's a shot and a goal by Walsh. What a rocket from about 15 yards out. Find the back of the net for the Wolverine 6th goal.
Good looking shot. High to high, but it's tough to see those, especially with the woods in the backyard Flay Hive.
Yeah. But, I mean, let's talk about Donald Varnerin. So, how crazy is it to see a long stick midi on a man up?
It's crazy unless you practice with him all week
Yeah.
and you see how well he knows the game and what he can do without the ball,
Yeah.
not only with the ball. And he shoots at about 100 miles an hour. So
I was going to say, it's got to be clocked at 100 minimum. That's going to do it. So that is the end of the first quarter. After 1, Wolverines up 6-1 on Dedham. You're watching Westwood Media Center coverage of Westwood Boys Lacrosse.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Welcome back, folks. About to kick off the second quarter. Wolverines up 6-1. Goals for the Wolverines: Stuhler, Greg Walsh, Jack Roycroft, Gio Sabatini, Nick Gasparo, Walsh again.
That's Jack Fallon.
And a goal by Jack Fallon. That's got to be his first one, and congrats. Great goal by the senior face-off specialist. Well deserved.
Had that one right down Broadway. Won the face-off, got the scoop, went straight down Broadway.
Love it. When players see the space and they take it, and it is his first goal. I see, looks like Bama tossing that over to head coach Todd Zaherk. So congrats to Jack Fallon on the goal. Gets the boy, you know, when the boys are fired up, it's definitely someone's first goal, or, you know, someone did something special.
Yep.
You remember your first one? How special was that?
I actually don't remember my first
Really?
goal, but I can tell you it was special. Just like seeing the guys, like the support you get from the bench. Not one guy's better than the other.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the skill's different, but we're all one team. The support's always great. The boys are always fired up.
Yep.
The coaches are really fired up.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just great, and especially when you get back to the bench or the quarter ends. As a shot from Frederickson.
Wow, that is a rocket. Frederickson gets on the board for Westwood's 9th and his first of the game.
Good looking shot there. That's his go-to.
It is. When he's set up and he's got his feet ready like that to just really kind of have that back scratcher of a shot, it is pinpointing at a corner of the net.
You can't leave his hands free. If his hands get free,
Yeah.
that left-hand step down is almost unbeatable,
Yeah.
even from that distance.
I mean, we celebrated Roy Croft's 100th goal the other day. I'd have to say that Frederickson's got to be around like 150.
Yep. Violation there.
Yep. So that's a violation on Westwood. Lopes there on the draw. He's going to play one-on-one defense with the Dedham player. Going to knock that ball loose. He makes a move out of 3 Westwood players and then puts that in the back of the net. Impressive move there by number 14 on Dedham. He split 3 Westwood defenders, is able to get a bounce shot, and to get Dedham's second goal, make the score 8-2 Westwood.
Nothing Pollock can do there.
No,
I mean,
no. When you're in that space, point blank, it's the favor goes to the shooter there.
yep. Couldn't imagine getting in between the pipes.
You make a save there, that's going on the highlight reel.
Yep.
So Fallon is going to take the draw. He's the most recent goal scorer for the Wolverines. He's got Jack Stuhler down low and CJ Hancock up top. And Fallon comes away with the win. He's going to work it down into offensive territory. Holds onto it, dishes it off to, looks like Stuhler. Stuhler's going to hold as Westwood makes their substitutions. So how much is Westwood's offense and defense built off of fresh legs and combinations like you see with here?
It's great how Z coaches it as Greg Walsh gets another goal. I mean, the offense there's no really set lines.
Yeah.
So whoever's ready,
Yep.
you go. And
Come playoffs, do they tighten that kind of rotation up a little bit, or how does that work?
yeah, absolutely. You're gonna want to keep your top guys in, especially as the playoffs go on
Yeah.
and the teams get better.
Yeah.
But we always try to substitute. Z always wants fresh legs on.
Sure.
He used to say, "Don't come to practice if you're not gonna give it 100%."
Yeah.
So if you're gassed and he notices that, he's gonna yell, or you can just get off yourself, and there's always gonna be a guy waiting for you.
Brett Bama, nice quick win there, able to get the possession. I mean, one thing Coach Todd Zaherk does very well is he will tell you exactly what he's thinking and feeling, and I love it. You know, we get a fresh perspective of what it's like being the head coach at Westwood, and what his expectations are. You know, what are his goals? He expresses them very clearly, and he's always a great listen. He's also history making as the first podcast guest for the Wolverine Report. Dedham able to come away with the ball. Down 9-2. They're going to look to cut into Westwood's lead. We got 10 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. And Greg Walsh, hat trick for the Wolverines. Max did a terrific job the other night on the post-game interview. You know, the as you said, the note card, unreal. It's like note card's the MVP.
Yeah.
You know, to have all the bullet points, it's a good fallback. Sesselman jumps in front of that pass, and he's got some momentum. He's working it down low, finds Stuhler. Nice catch by Stuhler. That ball got deflected on the shot. Goes out of bounds, going to stay with Westwood.
Unselfish play there by Sesselman. Looked for the extra pass instead of going straight to the net.
So, Max, tell us a little bit about your freshman year at Syracuse. How much are you enjoying it, and how much are you enjoying getting some experience in your future with, you know, getting into, you know, a media type industry?
Yeah, so my major's broadcast digital journalism.
Yeah.
Newhouse, one of the best. Not really sure how I got in, but you know, Westwood gets you there. But there's so many opportunities there. The alumni.
Yeah.
You got guys like Mike Tirico, who you
Yep.
see on almost every call. Scott Hansen on Red Zone, as Sesselman snipes another one.
Yep, Will Sesselman. I think that's his first of the game. And a big Sesselman. I did not know Scott Hansen was a Syracuse guy.
Yeah, so a lot of alumni. There's I believe Syracuse is the only school that has the ACC network studio within their own school,
Really? Yeah.
which opens up a ton of opportunities to people with majors like me.
Oh yeah.
So as right now, you gotta start slowly. You're not really gonna get anywhere near the camera, but they say start off shadowing, and they say show up whenever you want. There's no obligation, but it gets you a lot of first-hand, hand-on experience with a lot of professional equipment and professional people.
Yeah.
The professors are very experienced. I believe my professor for my journalism class actually started in Norwood, I believe.
Wow.
So
Nice.
we had a couple conversations about that.
Yeah.
But now he's working with Spectrum News. It just shows you how far you can go, even from a town like Westwood.
Incredible. You know, look at you getting experience, getting in front of a camera, doing interviews, hopping on a broadcast of a game. Nothing better. Dipping your toe into the water. Shot by Williams. My goodness, there was some speed on that one. Finds the back of the net, and that's his first of the game.
The ability to shoot on the run is
It's
incredible.
he can shoot on the run. He can shoot on the hop too when he gets up. You know, and I feel like it's actually an advantage for him when he jumps up in the air to shoot. He's got that extra torque. Throws
Yep.
some back and abs into it. Kid is a superstar. Would you agree that Liam Williams, elite player, one of the top in the state of Massachusetts?
Absolutely. I mean,
I think he's so underrated. You know, where Westwood doesn't get the looks. C.J. Hancock there with the draw control. I don't think he gets the attention that these, St. John Preps and the, Zavarians and whatnot get. Hancock working it inside. Nice pass to Jack Stuhler. Holds on to it. Shot saved by the goaltender. Nice save there on a bounce shot. I think
caught
it
in
might
the equipment.
Yeah. I don't think, he gets the attention that he deserves, but we see it day in, day out. And he could, if he could potentially shoot, and score 60, 70 goals a year if he wanted to. But he's so unselfish. He's a great passer. Likes to play defense too. That was a fungo pass right there. I'm not sure what was going on there, but Jaden out there.
Not sure what he's doing.
Jaden out there playing defense. Jaden getting in the action. Love to see it.
He always tries to get out of the net, and what he says is Z starts to yell at him if he gets out of the net too much.
Hancock gets up and gets that one. That was a 15-foot ball in the air on a 80-yard pass or 60-yard pass by Jaden. We got John Quinn in there. John looking to go towards the net. That ball gets knocked loose. Picked up by Cochran. Sent it up to Jack Stuhler, over to Will Stuhler. Love to see a Stuhler goal. Stuhler with the shot and Stuhler with a goal. Will Stuhler. He scored the first one of the game, and now he scored the 13th one of the game.
Hot start for Westwood here.
Absolutely. They wanted to get their game going, get it going early, and they have.
That's always something Z tries to focus on, is in these games when, we might be a little bit better than the other team. It's always staying focused. It's always getting off to a hot start. It's not about how they play. You just don't want to play down to their level. And then that's when things can go wrong. That's when you can get out to two slow games, like an example would be last year against Bellingham. But it seems to be working here.
So I think that might have been the 12th goal. I had some math issues, I believe. It says 12 on the scoreboard, so we'll go with the scoreboard. But nonetheless, it was Will Stuhler, his second of the game. And like I said, love to see a Stuhler-to-Stuhler goal. We have Jack Stuhler with the ball.
I think we had it on that last one, actually.
Really?
Jack
Sean,
Stuhler had the...
He had a couple goals, but I don't think Will was on the pass, the assist end of it.
No, I think Jack was the assist.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if you count that as an assist just because he made too many moves.
Bama
Nice shot.
finds the corner. Nice goal there by Brett Bama.
So, Max, statistically for me, because I'm not too familiar with lacrosse as Morgan and you are, how many steps typically can you take before it's not considered an assist?
To be honest, I don't know.
You were saying this the other day.
I was talking with Morgan the other day. Jaden says it's 2 steps. I don't think that's true just because you can crow hop 2 steps right off of a pass. And
Yeah, it's like, what is this, basketball here? I mean,
Exactly,
it's a much
right.
faster sport. There's no pivots or anything like that, like, when it comes to the dribble.
yeah, I essentially base it off of if the assist led to the goal. So like this, if you assist it, then you reset to dodge, probably not going to be counted as an assist.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if you assist it and the guy and it's a perfectly placed pass, you beat the guy, I'd say you can count that as an assist.
Yeah, so on that Stuhler to Stuhler, I think that Will Stuhler took just probably a couple too many steps there on that play.
Yeah.
Pass inside, was looking for Sevi O'Brien. That gets knocked loose, but stolen by Westwood. Shot, save. That was a shot by Jumaine South. Saved by the Dedham goaltender.
They call him J2.
Do they? Love that. And we got an infraction called. Not sure what that was. Was there a ward or
I
something?
believe he stepped out of bounds.
Ah. So Dedham's going to have the possession. They're going to work their breakout. Do we see Westwood try and get the 10-man ride here? They're getting a little aggressive here. And we'll
Jaden
see.
seems to be staying put.
Yeah. Oh,
Nice
almost
defensive
picked that
play
one
there.
off. That's number 12. It looks like Mike Murphy. Trying to knock it loose. Nice couple moves there by number 11. Shot.
Nice
Jaden
save.
Pollock with a beautiful save. Beautiful save.
Risky pass over there.
Looking on the far side. Murphy there takes a hit. He's bumped. That's going to be a Westwood ball. I don't know if it was an infraction or if the ball went out of bounds. We'll say the ball went out of bounds on Dedham. And that's going to be picked up by South. He's going to send it back to Pollock. Pollock going to get another crack at it. He sends it near side. Finds number 16, Declan Murphy. We got a couple Murphys. Pass inside. Misconnection there. That was Connor Blaney looking inside, I believe, for Alex Bellica. Apologies on any potential mispronunciations. We got a whistle on the field. It's going to be an infraction on Westwood Dedham ball. Dedham's going to have the ball. 4 minutes, 14 seconds remaining here in the first half. Wolverines up 13-2. Evan Cardamino on camera and microphone. Max Pollock on microphone. Morgan Donahue here. We got a 60-yard pass, but to the benefit of Westwood, able to pick up that loose ball. They're going to send it back to Pollock, and
He wants to try.
he wants to. He had a couple open net opportunities a few weeks back versus Walpole.
Look at
Nice
that.
pass there. Shot and a goal.
Give him the assist on that one.
Connor Blaney with the goal. You got to give Jaden the assist.
That's just perfectly placed. Led him to space, right in front of the net.
On a Hail Mary pass, Blaney catches it and has enough space to get a quick shot off. And congrats to Connor Blaney. First varsity goal. He's going to keep that one. And he's going to remember that one because that was about a 70-yard pass from Jaden Pollock. And I think I see Pollock saying make sure to put that on the score sheet as an assist. And he earned it if they do. I call that a pivot. That was a 1-2, just to be able to get the shot. It's kind of like the Leitner buzzer beater on Duke, where he had to catch that heave pass, and then he had to make the quick move, work around to get the shot. That pass attempt is errant and it goes out of bounds. It's going to be Westwood ball, picked up by Declan Murphy. Dishes it off to Jaden. Jaden finds an open Caleb Fengler. Fengler's going to work it in himself. He's got to settle it down. So Wolverines up 14-2. Pass inside. Shot and a goal. That is Will Dempsey. And congrats to Will Dempsey, his first varsity goal. So Will Dempsey, another hockey player, gets his first varsity goal. Freshman Will Dempsey. And that is the 15th goal for the Wolverines.
They seem to be moving the ball really well here.
Yeah.
Finding a groove is really the most important part of the sport. It's all momentum based. I don't know if anyone watched the Syracuse versus Harvard first round lacrosse game.
Oh my gosh, overtime?
Incredible game. Syracuse is down 11-5 in the second half, and in just about a 3 or 4.
Flag.
Yeah, there's a flag there.
Took a hit there. They call those what, pushes?
They might call that one unnecessary roughness just because
his back was
a little bit turned.
Yeah. A loose ball. That's picked up by Blaney. He's a goal scorer. We got another flag. So Wolverine's going to go two men up. Do we see the varsity guys get a two-man look here? I see
Looks
Walsh,
like it.
Walsh trying to come out there, and I see
Liam Williams too.
Yeah, and I think
Guess not. Z sat him down.
Z is going to keep them at excuse me, keep them at bay.
Bless you.
Bless you. Thank you.
Yeah, it looks like they got a lot of the starters at the end of the bench here.
Yeah. So we're going to have two-man up for the Wolverines. Two guys in the box for Dedham. Our first look at the Westwood JV man up. I see Sebi O'Brien out there. I see Lachlan Hayes. I see Emilio Gonzalez. Will Dempsey. Looks like Moni Akiki. The Wolverines getting to work. They got Connor Blaney set up in the middle. Set it up top, shot, saved. That was a shot from Emilio Gonzalez. Wasn't able to come away with the possession. Sebi O'Brien's shot goes wide.
Good ball movement there.
There's looking inside. Oh, that was knocked down by Dedham. Nice play there, and the goalie's able to get a stick on it. But when I think of Dedham lacrosse, I think of that team probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago, where it was Deadwood, Norwood, and Dedham.
Yep.
And how about that game? It was. I thought Don Varner was done for the season. He got hurt, and it didn't look good.
I believe we called the game after that. Yeah, it was just a dirty play.
Yeah. Shot.
Heat of the moment.
Wide. 14, Connor Blaney on that shot. Yeah, that was he went down, and it didn't look good. Luckily, everything was okay. He went back into the game, scored a big goal. He was fired up. Pass inside, shot goes wide. Gonzalez on that shot.
I think we might be talking about different moments here. Are you talking about the ankle?
I'm talking about the ankle,
Okay.
yeah.
This might have been the year before, but in the last couple minutes of the game, we were winning by a bunch of goals, and we had scored, I think. Or maybe they had made a save, and the goalie, Donald, had, I think, just gotten his shot saved, and the goalie decided to shoot the ball at Donald point blank right in the crease. And both coaches decided that it was enough. Yeah, that was a crazy moment.
Yeah, that's no place in the game for that. Dedham with the possession. Inside, we have a minute 30 remaining here in the game. Dedham looking to get on the board before the close of the first half. Westwood able to knock that ball loose. That was knocked on the turf. It was knocked on the turf by number 12, Mike Murphy, picked up by 14, Connor Blaney. Westwood looking to work that inside. Hayes going righty-lefty, looking for some cutters. Sends it over to Sebi O'Brien. Pass inside, shot by Dempsey goes wide. Well positioned behind the net. Alexander Bellica. Bellica looking. Oh, just missed O'Brien there. Chasing that one down. It's Fengler. Wolverines have the ball. 40 seconds remaining here in the first half. Looking to get one more before the end of the half. 30 seconds. Fengler.
Oh, good pass.
Pass inside to O'Brien. O'Brien shot, and O'Brien goal. Sebi O'Brien with the goal. And Max, stop me if you heard this before, but we've heard a lot of O'Brien goals over the years when you consider Max O'Brien and also Ben O'Brien. Now we got Sebi O'Brien.
Yep. Great family there.
Great hockey family. Dad, Dave O'Brien, a hockey legend. Played for Northeastern, captained the Beanpot, won 2 Beanpots. Went on to play professional hockey, played for the Peoria Rivermen, and won an AHL championship. And just a great, great guy in the hockey community here in Westwood. And he's got some talented kids who are not just talented, great kids, always will make you laugh. He's got some great one-liners. And Westwood looking to get one more. Fallon going to the net, shot, save. That looked like it went off the goalie's knee. Went up in the air, ball still 50-50. Scooped by Westwood, looks like Blaney got that. We got a whistle, and it looks like half second left on the clock.
Hold this one out till halftime. I'd say they wouldn't shoot it.
Yeah.
Oh, they got a flag there for maybe a push with possession.
So how does that work? Are you able to keep the possession come start of the third quarter? How does that work when a team is able to maintain the possession going into the quarter?
I don't know about halftime, but actually it looks like they'll start with the ball at half.
Yeah.
I know at the end of a quarter, if you hold the ball man up,
Yeah.
you keep it.
Yeah. So that's the situation. So
Yeah.
it's the man up, and if you have it, and it looks like the officials are going to talk to each other. And a lot of times you see them place the ball, and it looks like they're doing that now. So they're going to walk the ball over to where Westwood will be to start the second half, and it looks like they will start there. So that is going to do it for the first half. Explosive half for the Wolverines, up 16-2 on the Dedham Marauders. Stick around, folks, for second half coverage. You are watching Westwood Media Center coverage of Westwood Boys Lacrosse.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
We are underway here in the second half, folks. Explosive first half for the Wolverines. Up 16-2 on Dedham. They are on the man up. So, yeah, as we predicted, Wolverines had the possession to start off the half. And
Looks like the starters are back in, too.
Yeah. They're working it around, looking for a nice pass. Pass shot.
Nice
Stuhler with the shot, saved by the Dedham goaltender. I believe that was a Stuhler-to-Stuhler look right there.
Good ground ball there.
Great to see the alumni here. You know, you can take the man out of Westwood. You can't take the Westwood out of the man.
Yeah.
Max Pollock, were you watching any of the live games we had this season? That's a goal for Dedham.
I tuned into a couple of the hockey games.
Yeah. Any of the,
Nothing like a Tim Malloy goal.
Timmy Malloy. You like the which hockey game did you watch? Did you watch the what do we have?
That would have been the Hopkinton one.
game.
I believe it was the Hopkins
Nolan
game.
Lewis overtime winner.
The Timmy Malloy overtime winner against King Philip II was a classic.
All-timer.
Playoff Malloy, nothing like it.
Timmy playoffs.
Yep.
Something is a switch that goes off when it comes to the playoffs for that man.
2 years in a row.
Incredible. And you were a hockey manager last year?
Yep.
How much did you enjoy that?
That was great.
Yeah.
I mean, especially just experience around a sport. I mean, I grew up playing, wasn't really good.
Yeah.
But getting to, I guess, be around my friends in a sport that I wasn't playing sort of setting.
And you're a part of the team. I mean, you are a valuable part of the team. Get the boys going, but also, like, it's a very important role of, game day operations and getting the footage, and the shot by Quinn goes wide, getting all of the different aspects to help a team become successful. And there was some great ones this year. We saw the Luke McCabe, Thomas Warren. Some great,
Looks like a moving pick there from John Quinn.
Yeah, and that
See
is
CJ Hancock around the far right end zone. Not sure what he's doing.
I think he went to the bathroom and he's just slowly walking back now.
Taking his time.
I think they, at this point, they still have the kind of the starters out now, so he may not be feeling well.
But no, Max, you mentioned managing your senior year, and you had a classic game. We talked about Dave O'Brien earlier. His son Max with that overtime thrilling win over Norwood.
That was incredible, especially.
Were you filming that?
I was filming that.
On the iPad?
Yep, the trusty iPad. That was an electric moment, not only for the team, but the den was packed to the fullest in the ice house, and there was a lot of chirping in the stands.
Oh, wow. These passes.
Look at the passes.
Oh
there.
my God, that was Owens to Frederickson to Cochran. But I learned a new word. It was after the Timmy Malloy goal, the stew. They call the student section the stew.
Yeah, the stew.
We call it the den and whatnot, but he was saying great celebrating with the stew. And I go, oh, all right, another word to add to the list of things I didn't know before today.
Yep.
Stuhler inside, shot and a goal by Sam Cochran. Stuhler with the feed, Cochran with the finish. That is the 17th goal for the Wolverines.
Looks like they're taking the starters back out.
Yeah.
A lot of goal scorers tonight. Spreading the ball around.
And you'll have to see that for the Westwood lacrosse team. They're getting experience. They're getting a lot of these young guys in, too, which is great. We've seen a lot of first goals in this game alone. But all season we've seen it. Even Andrew Washab had a great story. He was a manager last season and actually got his first varsity goal against Ashland. So great to see Coach Z getting these young guys and players who don't normally see the starting lineup some experience to get them, prepared for come playoff time. If someone goes down, you have that ability to find someone on your bench.
Yeah, it's all about building the program there. I mean, if Z didn't do this type of stuff, you'd have guys that would be totally confused, don't really know the offense, and then, as you said, if someone gets injured, you wouldn't really have someone to fill in those needed spots. So doing this not only gets them experience, but it gets the whole bench fired up when good moments happen.
Yeah, Max O'Brien sighting. Speaking of Max O'Brien, walking the track right now. He is in about as leisure gear as you will see.
Yeah, it looks like he's coming from the
Going
beach.
to the beach or whatnot. Yeah, probably was. Nice day like today. I see Brendan Varnerin down there. Great to see them. Both of them Bentley students. Brendo playing lacrosse at Bentley. Max certainly, I feel like, could play if he wanted to give it a go.
Sure could. One of the fastest guys on the team last year.
Yeah. And those two could find each other. You know, just quick pass, quick shot out of those two. And then, remember a couple of years ago, Ben, what a shot Ben had. He had a heck of a cannon when he would shoot a righty. Dedham working the ball around. Looks like James Galvin out there on D. Forcing the ball up top, Gasparo. Ball worked inside, but some help from Westwood knocks the ball loose. That's picked up. Number 17 for the Wolverines, Manuel Gonzalez. He's got some space. That ball gets knocked out, but Gasparo there to pick it up. Connor Blaney cutting across the middle, looking for a pick. Wolverine's going to set that offense up. Gasparo working it inside. Well, spin move, shot. That goes, I believe the goalie got a piece of that. But nicely played by the defender behind the net, able to catch the ball and maintain that possession. Dempsey sends it behind the net.
Nice keep there.
Lachlan Hayes getting the feet moving. He's taking a couple whacks. What do you call that? Just eating a couple whacks like that, you know? Pass inside to Dempsey. Dempsey with the shot, and he scores. That's his second. That was a nice cut there. I don't know who passed it to him, but a great cut. And a nice shot goal by the freshman, Will Dempsey.
Looks like a nice short side. Short side low.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
Not much room there either. He found it, though. And there's the man of the hour. Donnie V. Big sophomore campaign for number 4, but number 16. We're joined by Don Varnerin, a pride of Westwood, the pride of Bailey Street. Donnie, how we doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. How does it feel to be back in good old Westwood, Massachusetts?
Oh, it feels great, especially looking up at the scoreboard and seeing
yes.
Westwood's winning by a lot.
We were talking about the Deadwood game a couple years ago, and we thought a bad injury potentially happened, but luckily it did not. You got up and then scored a big goal, and then I think at that point Paul was like, all right, we got to get this kid out. Shot and a goal. What a goal. Lachlan Hayes with his first career goal, and it looks like on a pass from Martucci with a long stick.
Wow.
Wow.
Call
You're going to remember that one for a while. That is the first career goal by Lachlan Hayes on a first career long stick midi pass assist by Dante Martucci. And we got Max O'Brien in the booth now.
Way too many alumni here.
So, Don, what a season you had this year. What a highlight you had in that playoff game. Not the playoff game, but the conference or the league playoff game.
Yeah.
Incredible. How did you feel after the season that you had, and how pleased are you with how things went?
Yeah, very pleased. You know, would like to still be playing now, but I think looking back on how young of a team we had, it was definitely a great year for us. So many ups and downs, and just a great learning experience. And excited to go back with those guys for next year.
Just incredible team you guys had. Some big upset wins, and a team that each year keeps moving up in those standings.
Yeah.
And a team that is, going to certainly get some great recruits. When you have the years that you guys are having, people are going to want to play there.
Oh, yeah.
Boston's an attractive place, but the way you guys do it, too, in style, how do you not want to play for a team like that? And
100%.
Nickerson Field, what a place to play lacrosse games.
Yeah.
Dedham able to come away with the possession. We got 2 minutes 15 remaining here in the third. Nice move there by Dedham player. Shot. And that catches the top corner of the net for the goal. A little bounce shot goal.
Shot there.
Absolutely. What a goal there. But Don, big goal. on the was that off a face-off? Talk us through that goal in the playoffs.
Yeah, I saw the ball spit out. I was trying to get it to the attackman, and the defender just threw one pump fake. He fell for it, threw it again, fell for it again, and I just saw, just did the easy thing at 3 yards, put it in the back of the net. So
I love the quick fakes, thinking you're going to do the dish off, because that's what they're expecting.
Yeah, throw the ball and get
throw it
off.
off and get off.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, yep, I'll fake it there. Probably caught a couple eyes there. Throw it here, caught a couple eyes.
Yeah.
Right to the net, and there's nothing that, lacrosse purists love than a pole goal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Seen a couple from C.J. Hancock this week.
Oh, yeah.
He had the patent in
The
Don
Medway,
Barton 20-yard goal.
Yeah. I smiled watching that highlight.
I think when he looks to shoot, he is basically working off of many, many highlights he's watched of you and how you did it.
Yeah.
But we were talking earlier about the man up, and it's not often you see a long stick midi on the man up.
Yeah.
But you were out there, and were you typically set up right at the top of the circle for that man up?
Would either be top center or the left side, just lefty strong side.
And were you just looking for a team that was going to give you space to allow you to just kind of crow hop 5 yards in and rifle one, or what were the looks you were looking for?
I would usually be looking for B on the pipe if he was open.
Yeah.
But if they gave me the time to shoot or even locked me off, I was definitely trying to just give it to other people and get the best look possible.
Yeah. No more memorable one than that playoff goal you had versus Attleboro. I was actually talking to the coach over the summer. He's a Walpole guy. He's now the head coach at Bishop Fee, and Ryan Izzo. He was a heck of a player himself. He became a short stick midi for the Cannons at one point. And he goes, yeah, I remember that playoff game. And he goes, that darn long stick midi. And I go, oh, you remember that goal from 20 yards out? He goes, yeah. And he goes, thanks for the reminder.
And that's the end of the third quarter. Go grab a snack. We'll be back for the fourth.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Welcome back, folks. About to kick off the fourth quarter. Wolverines added to the explosive start with some additional goals, and they're up 19-4. We are joined by some great Westwood alumni. We got Max O'Brien in the booth, Max Pollock on the booth on microphone, and Donnie V.
Still kicking.
Shot goes wide.
Nuts.
That's going to stay with Westwood. Lachlan Hayes scored his first career goal earlier on a long stick. Yeah, it looks like we got
Jack
Roycroft out there with a long stick.
I guess when you hit 100 career goals, you can do whatever you want.
And I think I heard Todd shout something, so I'm not sure if it was, to get in position or what, but Westwood having some fun right now.
A lot of Ryan Gaffney's out there right now.
Yes. That ball is heading towards the sideline. Goes out. Who's going to stay with Westwood, or looks like it's going to be Dedham possession? So it's funny. Someone asked me a question today. I was with Evan, and they asked, how did you get into play-by-play? And I guess the honest answer was, you guys living across the street, and said, hey, do you guys have any announcers or whatnot? I'm like, because the hockey season we didn't hear much, but what about lacrosse? I said, give it a shot. That first game was the Hopkinton game. I think you guys won like 8-1 or like 9-0. It was very low score, and it was a great game because they had a great player on their team. They had a good goalie, and so did Westwood. And it was a fun game to do. But that was the game. There we go. Long stick.
So many
Long
alumni.
stick midi, Roy Croft.
Here comes Roy Croft.
He's doing what he's learned from Don, because Don used to work his hands up the middle of the shaft. Why use all of it when shot?
Oh,
So question for Don. We got Brendan Varner up here. So we were asking about assists. Like how many steps before you can't count as an assist? 3. Because we saw an assist tonight from Jaden Pollock, which was more of that was a nice one. It was like 80-yard pass. But we didn't know how many steps. Shot and a save by Pollock.
oh, he's going up.
Oh,
he wants one.
He's looking to have some fun. He likes those seam passes. It's like Tom Brady when he was talking to Drew Bledsoe and like, hey, what are your favorite routes? And he's like, oh, I like this, this, and this. He's like, you like the deep ball, huh? It was a funny clip, Don. I think it was your sophomore year. You had whacked a kid down here in the end zone, ref threw the flag, and you knew immediately. You didn't even look back to see what the call was. You just jogged off the field. That might have been Hopkinton, I feel. So we have a whistle. Not sure what's going on here.
Man up here.
Man up. Okay. Yeah, I see. So Dedham guy on a knee in the box, and Wolverine's got to get a man up. Hayes behind the net. He's got to work it around. Finds Hayes down low, tries to go lefty. That goes wide, but well positioned there is Sebi O'Brien. Sebi O'Brien with a goal tonight. He got his first the other night versus Medway. So the first of many. We've called a lot of O'Brien goals over the years. We were saying, Brendan Varnon and Max O'Brien. So many connections between you two. I feel like one would be behind the net, one would be right in front. Quick pass, quick shot. Always able to find each other. It's got to be a Dedham ball. We got 8 minutes, 15 seconds, and counting.
Running time here.
So with a win tonight, and I did the math, and I could be off, but we'll double check on it. But a win tonight,
Outside.
Westwood would win at a minimum the share of the TVL title, the TVL large. They would basically be 2 games, 2 remaining. Hopkinton would have to win out. Hopkinton can't lose to Westwood, but if Westwood beats Hopkinton, that's it. Westwood is TVL large champs, I believe, for the first time since 2018. But, it's different now. Medfield no longer in the TVL large. That changes things. Westwood always has that rivalry with Hopkinton. Holliston and Ashland seem to be still in kind of the developmental stages of their lacrosse programs. Dedham and Norwood as well. So it's always been kind of Dedham, Westwood, and Hopkinton. So, with the change this year, it's between, Hopkinton and Westwood. And Westwood got the better of them earlier this year. I remember the game last year, Brendo. Hopkinton was up a goal, and then you scored a goal off a turnover to tie it, to take it to overtime. It was crazy. I was watching it at the bowling alley with your dad and Freddie, and we're like, the impossible just happened. Like, that should have been an easy, let the clock run. You knocked the ball, or the goalie tried to pass it, you got a stick on it, and that still wasn't easy. The ball, you had to fight 2 guys off, picked it up, quick move, put it in the back of the net. We got a whistle here. Max, you want to give us a little send to a quick break?
Yeah, you got 6:50 left in the quarter, 19-4 Westwood here. We'll be back in a minute.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
There is one, yeah. Yeah, that'd be fun, yeah.
So right back at it, folks. Dedham has the ball. They're looking to get a score. They got 4 on the board. Westwood defense has been great behind junior goaltender Jaden Pollock. Great to see a bunch of different names out there, a bunch of different first-time goal scorers today. Always great to see the depth, also the future for the Wolverines.
Dedham just cycling the ball here. Looks like they're trying to waste some time. Nice
Yeah,
pass.
Pass inside, knocked loose. Big hit there. That was a nice hit. Looked like by number 10 for the Wolverines,
Mike Z.
Zafaropoulos. He's a football player. And then Jaden Pollock has it. He's sending on a seam route. Finds Connor Blaney. Blaney looking to take advantage of the man up. He takes a hit but spins off. Pass inside, misconnection there, but big contact. The player got the best of that. That looked like it was Jermaine South on the contact. And back and forth the ball goes. Zafaropoulos.
Are they going 10-man ride here? Nope. Never mind.
That ball is on the ground. Picked up by Dedham. It feels like a ping pong battle. Ball going back and forth between the 50 the last 25 seconds. Some nice moves there by number 3, able to still keep the ball on the stick. But as mentioned, yeah, Westwood with a win will clinch at a minimum a share of the TVL large title.
Big game against Hopkinton Friday night.
That is going to be a big game. It'll be on the road, covered by our friends at HCAM, Tom Nappy at HCAM. We'll send that link out so it can be watched live.
Going
Nice
through
move
all the
inside,
defense
couple
here.
spin moves.
Looks like you got a
There's a
ward
warding.
there.
The warding. I remember the first time I called the game, I go, what was that? Someone explained it to me, still didn't understand it, and it took about 3 games for me to fully understand it. Now I do. Pass by Pollock.
I think he's just, I don't know what he's trying to do there.
He's
He's
trying to
looking for,
replicate the Cochran assist that he had a couple weeks back for Situate. But Jaden had a couple looks at empty netters earlier this year when the Walpole was getting the 10-man going.
yeah, I'm not surprised. He didn't start out as a goalie. He had played attack all his life, and freshman year he started off as attack. First tryout actually on Monday, he went behind the back. I got scared.
He's like, I should make varsity now.
Yeah, but then he ended up on JV, but by the end of the season, we had some goalie situations that went on, and he stepped up. David Solomon was our backup,
Yep,
senior that year.
He's had a great
But
game versus
he got a penalty
Duxbury.
in a
Did he
during the
really?
Duxbury playoff game, and Jaden went in, made a save.
Wow.
And he kind of just stuck with it.
Yeah.
And I think that attests to how he understands the game.
Yeah.
He knows where attackmen want to go and where they want to
Yep.
put the ball.
The anticipation.
Not the tallest guy in net, but he gets the job done.
Yeah.
And I think the transition has been seamless. He really enjoys it. He worked with a lot of coaches. And you can see right here, only giving up 4 goals here. Great game from him today.
Absolutely. He remains focused, even when the ball is down the other end most of the game. Still making timely saves. 2 minutes 36 and counting here at Flayhive Field. Connor Blaney looking down low, missed on that connection. He was looking for Moni Akiki. And a great night for lacrosse. We had the girls' game earlier versus NDA. That was a very entertaining game. NDA came away with an 8-6 win. And now, ball on the ground. Mike Murphy. Oh, a nice, almost had a swim move there. And that is a infraction on Westwood Dedham ball. So Dedham with the ball and under 2 minutes remaining, looking to get another goal on the board. And a dominant Westwood win.
Looks like they're just killing the clock here.
Yeah, just get the game
Nice
over. As
check there. Should be Westwood ball.
Westwood ball. So what was the call there?
Looks like he just checked it out of his stick. Ball popped out off of Dedham there.
But
There it is.
So what? So the ball's though on the ground. How come there was? Did it go out of bounds?
Yeah, out of bounds there.
Okay. So
It's kinda hard to
if
see
you knock
up
it
here.
out of someone's stick, goes out of bounds. That's on the other. That's on the player who had the possession.
Yeah.
Interesting. Love that. And then if you
Nice
hit him,
check
out,
there.
if you hit him out of bounds too, that's a turn. That's not. I don't know if it's considered a turnover, but you get the ball. You get the possession. All right. So a minute remaining here at Flay Hive. That was an interesting bounce. A hit there at midfield. Pass up top, looking to shoot.
Offsides on Westwood there.
Yep. Westwood had too many players in the offensive area. See Aaron Washab out there. He's coming off, and oncoming is Mike Murphy. And now 23 seconds remaining in the game. That
Good
ball
all-around
gets
win here for
close.
Westwood.
Yeah, a lot of guys in the scoring column. Great action and a good win. So 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Pass inside. And that is going to do it here at Flay Hive. Westwood big winners over TBL Large Dedham 19-4. And a explosive win. Goals by many for the Wolverines. We saw some first-time goals as well, which is awesome to see. Goals by Will Dempsey. Will Dempsey had a couple. Also saw a goal by Lachlan Hayes, which is great to see. And I think Connor Blaney. So Connor Blaney with his first. And that is the first of many to come for those talented young players in the Wolverines. Some great depth and a bright future. That is going to do it here at Flay Hive. Westwood 19-4 winners over Dedham. Thank you folks for tuning in. We're looking forward to seeing you all on the next one.